Hi, this is Dr. Ivan Misner. Today I want to talk about sometimes you just got to do what you think is the right thing to do. Now, this came up because I happened to share a story with some of my staff about something that I did when I was a professor, and they said you got to share this in one of your video blogs. So here's the story. I taught as an adjunct faculty member for 16 years at a couple of universities here in Southern California. Now I travel so much I can't teach, but I really enjoyed it. And I had taught probably for 6 or 7 years at one university, and one quarter they gave me a really small classroom. It would only hold about 26 students or so. Normally I had a much bigger class, and it was an evening class. And I went in and it was packed. There were probably 32 students in the room. And of course, you know, when it is a class like that, they're desperate to get in. And so I said, look, everybody, you can all be in the class. And just go to the class next door and bring in a couple of chairs. But you got to take the chairs back because I don't want to get in trouble for that. And after a week or two, some of you are going to drop out because this isn't going to be an easy class. And some of you aren't going to be there at night, and it'll all work out, and that's okay. But, you know, don't leave the chairs in here. Don't get me in trouble. They're like, anything you say, Dr. Misner, if you'll just let us in, you know, we'll do it. And so I added them all, and I didn't keep track of who I added first or last. Well, interestingly enough, a day or two later, I got called by the dean of the School of Business, and the dean rarely spoke to me. I mean, he was a nice guy, and he talked to me when I saw him, but I don't think he ever called me into his office. So he called me in, and I was like, hi, Dean, you know, what can I do for you? He said, Dr. Misner, you let in 32 students into your class the other day. I said, yeah, it was probably more than I should have, but, you know, I don't mind. He said, well, the class will only hold 26, and so you're going to have to cut 6. I said, wow, well, I don't know what 6 to cut because I don't know who the last 6 were. And besides, I told them all I would let them in. And I said, come on, Dean, you know that when we have a class tonight, that there's not going to be 32 people there. And once they really go through my syllabus, several are going to drop out. And then there'll be a few that are sick. And it'll be down to 26 pretty quick, a couple of weeks. He said, yeah, well, no. I don't care. You got to cut 6. And I said, well, I hear you, but I can't cut 6 because I don't know what 6 to cut. And he said, well, I don't care. It's really not my problem. You got to cut 6. And I looked at him and I said, well, if I have to cut 6, I quit. And he looked at me and he said, what? You what? I said, I quit. Because I told them they could be in, and that's my fault, and I'll take responsibility, but I'm not going to cut 6. So if you're going to make me cut 6, I quit. And he said, you can't quit. The class is tonight. I can't fill it in. And I'm like, okay, how can I help? He's like, well, okay, they can stay, but don't ever do it again. I was like, yes, sir, I will never do it again. But here's the real irony. I never got a small class again. I always got really, really big classrooms so that just about any number of students, I mean, it wasn't an auditorium, but they'd be classrooms that hold 50 or 60 kids. And so I ironically always had plenty of room, and I always accepted as many students as came in. And I think that this really, the point here is that sometimes you just got to do the right thing. And I let him in. I understood afterwards that, yeah, for whatever reason, I shouldn't have done it. But I made that commitment, and I needed to follow through with that commitment. And I was certainly willing to quit if he didn't allow me to keep that commitment. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do if you think it's really right. And it may mean even losing money. You got to take that position. So that's my lesson for today. I hope you enjoy it. And if you have a story of your own, something that you did to do the right thing, don't complain about people, but something that you felt was doing the right thing, I'd love for you to share it here. Thanks a lot. This is Dr. Ivan Misner. Thanks for watching.